Hello and welcome to Some Dude Shed. It's a lovely day. We're in the middle of a heat wave where things are a nice toasty 20 degrees in Northern Ireland. So we've all got our shorts on. Putting on the sun cream, all that stuff. It's lovely here. Not like that crazy place in England where it's 40 degrees. But anyway, so today we will be going through some silly stories from history and figuring out whether they are real or not. That's the plan. My name is Mr. Grey, and I'm joined by Mr. Red and Mr. Black.
Yo.
Hello.
So shall we do this in chronological order? Who's got the oldest story?
Mine's 1991.
Mine is 1957.
Mine is
World War II.
no 12th century, 1184.
Oh,
Jesus. Ages ago.
sounds a bit crusadery to me. I'll take it away, Mr. Red.
You have heard of Germany, yes?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's that place next to China, isn't it?
Wee bit further away than that.
Oh, okay.
So Henry the Sixth, King of Germany, was holding a banquet for the nobles from across the Holy Roman Empire.
Okay.
He was believed he invited over 150 people to this banquet. So these were the elites from across the empire, and he had them all arranged in these rather large dining halls / church. And when they were all assembled in this hall, can you guess what happened?
Orgy.
Oh, is this one of those pick the ending things?
No.
Oh.
This
Was
guess. This is pretty short. I just wanted to drag it out.
Is it like another red wedding from Game of Thrones or something? Like a big massacre or something?
Did this inspire
A streaker burst through the door and ruined everybody's day by throwing off his stuff.
So Mr. Grey believes it's modern day attention seeking, and Mr. Black believes it's inspiration for the Red Wedding. No, it was neither of those things. What happened was the floor collapsed,
Oh dear.
I mean,
and somewhere between 60 to 100 people died.
My goodness.
But can you guess what the floor collapsed into?
A wine cellar? That's a sensible suggestion. I suppose you need to come up with something stupid.
It's a cellar, yes.
like a torture chamber?
No.
I don't know. Like his underwear collection or something.
It collapsed into the latrine.
A latrine?
Latrine?
Oh no, that's
So,
not good.
Like a shit pit?
More or less, yes. So it's believed between 60 and 100 people died, but King Henry survived because he happened to be in an alcove that was made of stone.
Well, lucky him.
So, true or false, a bunch of nobles fell to their death in a big pile of poo.
Here.
It sounds plausible. I'm trying to think of what the sewage would have been, what the sewer system might have been like in medieval Germany. Probably not very advanced. So this would have been like the higher society as well, wouldn't it? So that must have been a major event. Must have really shook things up, you know.
Well, the king survived. Who else could?
I suppose.
He later became the Holy Roman Emperor too.
It sounds possible to me.
Take it that the floor was also made of like stone or something. It just.
Oh no, it was made of wood. It had just rotted away.
But the smell of shit would rise through the floor then?
That's a fair point. Even before it collapsed, the place would have stunk.
It would have stank like pure shit.
This is
literally
the 1100s.
Yeah, but it's royal, you know.
Still the 1100s.
Yeah, but still, royalty. If it was like high society royalty at this place, they wouldn't tolerate that shit.
Literally.
Well,
they'd walk in and be like, "Holy shit!"
Maybe they just didn't notice afterwards.
They were nose blind to the sewer beneath them. I suppose everybody smelled like a sewer back then, didn't they? I don't know. I'm edging towards false now.
I'm verging towards false as well, because the whole castle layout doesn't sound right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll say false on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say false too. See if it's true. Bullshit.
So you're both saying false? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, it's true.
Bullshit.
True. I'm
just
not so amazed at the floor collapse. I'm more amazed that the king had a banquet with merely floorboards between them and a massive pile of poo.
What country was this again? Germany?
in Germany, yes.
Actually, yeah, true.
They're
I forgot what country it was in.
They're into their shiza.
Oh yeah, I forgot what country it was in. Yeah, true. Too late now.
We've all seen the videos on WhatsApp.
And if you want to know further information on it, it's the details about where exactly it was held in the castle is debated, and the details of how many people died is debated. But if you want to look into it any further, just Google Hereford Latrine disaster, and that's it.
Nice.
Alrighty. So I guess moving on to my story then.
Yes, so.
So, I've kind of been going on a bit of a car binge, guys. So, by the way, in the 1950s, they just started using nuclear power stations and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so everything was nuclear. People were going nuclear crazy. They thought everything was going to be nuclear at some point. And there were some brain boxes who thought, well, if you can have a nuclear power station on a submarine, what if we scaled it down to a car? The Ford company, Ford designed a car for nuclear power called the Nucleon.
The nuclear what?
The Nucleon is what it was called.
Right.
The idea basically it's basically a fancy steam engine. The uranium would heat up the water, which would power the car. It was basically a steam engine, but with uranium instead of a furnace. The idea was that you'd be able to drive 5,000 miles on the same reactor before it needed replaced. So it would be very fuel efficient. But then again, I suppose that's kind of negated by the cost of a small nuclear reactor.
Yeah. The safety implications.
Yeah, basically. I mean, can you imagine crashing in that thing?
A mini nuke going off.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever blow up a car in Fallout? No, they've ever played Fallout.
I haven't played it very much. What happens?
Yeah, they're like nuclear cars in it. And if you sort of blow one up, it kind of makes its own small like mushroom cloud and has fallout and everything from it. So I imagine it'd be the same thing.
Yeah, probably. So that's basically it. Did Ford design a nuclear powered car?
Did Ford design a nuclear powered car?
Yes, it wasn't built. This is a concept.
True. I believe that. Because lots of crazy ideas don't really leave the workshop. Like, I mean, and it wasn't uncommon for crazy ideas to at least make it a concept. Yeah, I want to say true.
I'm gonna say true as well.
And this was a serious concept. They showed this off in motor shows and everything. Well, I say showed it off, a full scale model.
A model.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, there wasn't a. They didn't have a nuclear power thing small enough.
Just made out of a cereal box.
Yeah, this was the age of atomic energy. I believe they were trying to do concepts for nuclear powered planes and trains as well. So it doesn't blow me away that they would have one for a car.
All right. Well, you've pretty much got it. It is true. And here is a picture of it. So the nuclear engine bit, which is the round frying pan looking thing, is at the back. So it's a bit of a weird looking car. I like the idea is the fact that you sit in front of the front wheels, like a bus.
And just to think, they probably would have done it until the oil companies found out.
Yeah. Oh well, nearly had a return to steam power. That would have been great.
That's a nuclear powered jetpack. Nuclear powered jetpack. That would just be one ride. You make it to your destination and die of radiation poisoning.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right. So mine takes place in 1991 in Russia.
Ooh.
This
Good.
was just after the fall of the Soviets, wasn't it?
91, 92 years.
No, what year was it? Just around then.
I think it
I think
wasn't
it's
not fall in '89.
Yeah, I thought it was
Oh,
like
no.
90 or something
Oh, no,
because Metallica
91.
played there in 90.
no the
Oh, it kept going until 91. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Right. So, besides, this took place in 1991 in Russia. There was a musician called Sergey, and there was a reporter called Sergey who decided to do a little something interesting. They both decided to do a little stunt. They went on to a TV show called Piato Colesso, which means the fifth wheel in English. And this was broadcast on Leningrad television. On the show, Sergey, Sergey the musician, impersonated a historian, and the other Sergey was just filling his role as the reporter. But Sergey the historian, who's not really a historian but is a musician, revealed his so-called scientific findings, which claimed that Vladimir Lenin had eaten so many psychedelic mushrooms that he eventually transformed himself into a mushroom.
False.
No, it's essentially silly. It's like, well, of course, he's not going to turn into a mushroom and everything. But this was kind of like the turn of the culture in Russia at the time. And there wasn't really anything satire on TV. Like, there was no deadpan sort of comedy or anything, or deadpan spoofs. It was all just like deliberate. And but because it was delivered in a deadpan manner, they estimated about 11.3 million audience members took it for what it was and believed that Lenin had turned into a mushroom.
Sorry, how many people?
11.3 million is estimated to have believed that Lenin became a mushroom, and people were phoning up about it. A member of the Leningrad Regional Committee had to clarify these claims, as formality. His name is Sholokov. He rebuked and refuted the claim using pure logic. He said Lenin could not have been a mushroom because a mammal cannot be a plant.
Oh yeah, that's how you really pull the rug out from underneath him there.
Oh,
A mammal cannot be a
he's convinced me.
So there you go. It was true or false? The Lenin was a mushroom hoax is a real thing.
So this is just a guy that went on to national TV and played a prank, basically.
Yeah, two guys were in on it: the reporter and the musician who posed as a historian, a historical scientist, and basically revealed, made claims on TV that Lenin ate so many mushrooms that he turned into a mushroom, and 11.3 million people believed it.
See,
They were getting bombarded with phone calls and everything. Is it true? Is it true? Because all this stuff was coming out about the Russian government at the time. Like things are becoming more transparent in the government. People are finding out more stuff. And
see,
No, there are certain things that are more believable than others. I mean, when the information about the gulags came out, I'm sure people, that was to be expected. But when the news came out that Lenin had turned into a mushroom, they just went along with it as well.
yeah, to the point where a guy had to come out and say, Lenin could not have been a mushroom because a mammal cannot be a plant.
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Red. What do you think? Do you think the Russians, who, I don't think they're all necessarily going to be the most educated people at this point in history. Do you think they're capable of believing that if you smoke enough mushrooms, you become a mushroom?
Well, they have been believing state TV for the past 5 decades, so
I suppose,
maybe.
yeah, because their state TV was pretty much law, wasn't it? Whatever the state TV said was right.
It's like North Korean state TV.
Yeah. It's not that you weren't allowed to question it, it's just not something that you thought of ever doing. But it just seems so
Random.
silly.
Stupid. Yes.
Yeah.
Were they trying to make a point or something by doing this, or?
I think just taking the piss. it was like Russia's sort of breakthrough different types of media, because like I imagine TV was pretty conservative then, like just only the TV is run by the state and everything, whereas now, I mean, well, it's still run by the state, but attitudes changed.
And how many people believed it?
11.3 million.
Why do you think it was 11.3 million believed it? That seems very high. Surely they didn't
Because
get
that's what
11.3
the
million phone calls.
estimate. That's
Oh.
what the experts claimed.
Or the experts claimed, right? Okay. Well, the number is debatable, I think, but I think we're just saying if anybody believed it, we'll say it's true.
I want to say it's true, but I don't know.
I kind of want it to be true. It's so silly, but it's too
Yeah,
silly.
that's what
It's
makes me.
stupid.
No, but that's the thing. It's so stupid that it must be true.
I'm going to say false. I've got too much respect for the Russian people.
I don't think you're allowed to say it these
I
days.
don't know. Are you? I mean, it's not that, are we allowed to say there's that the Russian people are okay? It's really just their rulers who seem to
Well, this was back
do
then,
everything
and
wrong.
people were stupid back then.
Yeah, in
People are stupid.
1991.
I'm gonna say yes. I want it to be true.
I'll say false. I can't imagine anyone would be that stupid.
Well, I can tell you, it is true.
Wow.
I'm looking up the exact date the Soviet Union fell here.
I have no idea, by the way, how I stumbled across this. I just did today, and it was like,
Were you looking at
oh,
mushrooms?
no, I can't even remember what I was looking at.
Mushrooms in popular culture.
So, the exact date the Soviet Union fell was on the official date that was the 26th of December 1991. So the Soviet Union was still going at this point. How are these two men still alive?
Yeah, but it was in its death throes. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but
like only a few months earlier than that.
Funny times.
There's another hoax I was going to cover that may or may not have happened, but I might leave that to another time.
Well, on that note,
we'll just call for comments, I suppose. If you or anybody you know has been turned into a mushroom, please let us know.
You are what you eat.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.